Hey everybody, getting a little bit of crayfish activity here in my native tank. I just fed the tank, but I'm only halfway through the feeding. I fed the flake food and the stuff that goes, in the water column and on the surface, but I have not yet put either the shrimp pellets or the algae wafers in the tank, which is what sinks to the bottom, and that's the food that's intended for the crayfish. And of course these little sucker fish you can see right here in front of us now, those are all bottom feeders. But apparently just the smell of the fish food in the water was enough to get this crayfish to come out and show us a little bit of activity. We do have another crayfish that's visible at the moment, but it's not in such good condition, so we're going to wait until this one's done doing its thing. Trying to keep the glare off the tank as best I can. I'm using my body to create some shadow. I've got a really bright LED grow light in the room behind me. It has a sort of little indoor garden around it, and unfortunately it plays merry hell for me trying to get a good video of a tank without glare all over the glass unless I prepare for it. These impromptu grab the camera and shoot videos are a lot more difficult now. So we've got that one in there that's doing his thing, and then we've got the remains of that one there that ain't doing its thing anymore. Well, its thing now is to be food for everybody else, so I guess in a way it is still doing its thing, but it's a new thing now. So this one is still alive, and I have not seen hide nor hair of anybody else. In fact, I grabbed the camera because I saw this one. If I get a bunch of crayfish in the tank like I had last year, I had 6, 8, 9, 10 of them in there at any given time, you can see them a lot more frequently. They're out and about, and they're fighting with each other, and there's territorial disputes, and it's a lot of activity, a lot of drama, a lot going on when I've got plenty of crayfish in the tank. But when I'm down to just a few, they don't really come out that often. They are trapped in a box full of predators, though, so, you got to take that into consideration. If I was a crayfish, I probably wouldn't be spending a whole lot of time out and about either. You already saw the way that a couple of those creek chubs took a shot at it while it was in there. So they tend to lay pretty low, and then the ones that don't, the ones that come out and about, don't tend to last very long. Like I said, these creek chubs, and when I say creek chub, I'm talking about this sort of big bullet-shaped fish you see here, torpedo-shaped fish here. That's a creek chub, and they are vicious. I never realized they were so aggressive, and even though they can't fit that crayfish in their mouth, they can take shots at it, and they'll tear legs off of it, and they'll tear pieces of its tail off, and eventually they'll just wear it down until they've exhausted it and just torn it to pieces, and then it becomes food. So just because they're armored and just because they're too big to be swallowed whole does not mean they won't fall victim to these really aggressive creek chubs I have in the tank. So, being an outgoing crayfish is not a long-term survival strategy in this tank, and that's why we just don't really see them too often anymore. The ones that come out and about don't last long. The ones that stay hidden and reclusive are the ones that stick around. So, what are you going to do? Hopefully the weather will be nice over the next few days, and I'll be able to get down to the stream, and we'll be able to get a few more in here. In the meantime, make sure you're subscribed. That way you won't miss anything I got coming up. Don't forget, this one here is my 125-gallon native tank. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.